Which heist is better, the Clucking Bell farm raid or Knoway Out? We will be comparing their payout, time of completion, cooldown, difficulty and replayability so you know which one is worth doing. When it comes to making money in GTA Online, especially as a beginner, Rockstar has given us plenty of options. Over the years we have seen everything from massive multi-approach heists to contracts and raids designed to be completed quickly. Two of the most talked about options right now are the Clucking Bell farm raid and the Knoway Out Heist. At first glance these two activities might seem similar. They are both instanced, aka non-free mode missions, they both involve a series of setup jobs followed by a finale, and they are both designed to be replayed. But once you actually spend time grinding them, the differences become very clear. Let's start with the requirements to start these mini heists. You can play both of them at any level, so whether you're level 1 or 1000 you can play this heist, and they are both completely solo but can also be done with up to 3 other players. So in those two areas the Clucking Bell and Knoway Out Heist are the exact same. Let's look at where you will be spending most of your time, the prep missions. The Clucking Bell farm raid is about as straightforward as GTA Online content gets. From the moment you start it, the game puts you on a very clear and linear path. There's no scouting phase, no approach selection, but there's one setup where you decide if you do the finale stealthy or aggressive. Every setup mission follows a similar structure. You're given a location, an objective and a group of enemies standing between you and success. You go in, clear them out, grab whatever the game wants you to grab and then move on to the next mission. Because of this design, the Clucking Bell prep missions are extremely consistent. Once you have done them a couple times you already know exactly where enemies spawn, how long each mission takes and what kind of resistance you can expect. There's very little RNG involved. This is a huge advantage for players who value efficiency. You don't have to adapt to different mission variants or unexpected objectives. Every run feels nearly identical, which means you can get into a rhythm and complete the setups quickly with minimal effort. However, the downside is that there's no way to speed things up beyond simply playing better. You can't skip missions, you can't pay to bypass steps, and you can't really optimize your route. Everyone has to do the same prep work every single time. The Knoway Out Heist takes a different approach. While it's still relatively structured, there's noticeably more going on during the setup phase. Some of these prep missions involve objectives that benefit greatly from having a second player. Unlike Clucking Bell where solo and duo runs feel nearly identical, Knoway Out clearly rewards teamwork. If you are playing with a friend you can split tasks, cover more ground and finish specific missions much faster. Solo players can still complete everything, but it usually takes longer and requires more careful play. Overall, Knoway Out prep missions demand more attention, but they also feel more engaging. You're not just going through them, you actually have to play well to be efficient. When you compare total prep time, Clucking Bell is usually faster for solo players. Its simplicity and consistency makes it easy to complete in a predictable amount of time every run. Knoway Out generally takes a little longer, especially if you're solo, however as a duo the gap closes significantly. In most cases a coordinated team can complete the Knoway Out setups as quickly as Clucking Bell while getting more value out of the experience. But Clucking Bell has 5 setup missions plus the finale, meanwhile Knoway Out has 4 setups plus the finale, so one less setup than Clucking Bell. So right away we can see a pattern forming. Solo players will likely prefer Clucking Bell, duo players may lean towards Knoway Out, but watch till the end to find out. Prep missions are only half of the story, let's talk about the finales. The Clucking Bell farm raid finale can be very combat focused if you go in aggressive, but you can also take the stealthy approach, where you go in silently, and since the enemy spawns are scripted it's easy to complete. Objectives are clearly marked and the mission pushes you forward at a decent pace. Since everything is so structured, the finale rarely changes between runs. Once you learn where enemies come from and how objectives are laid out, it becomes very hard to fail unless you're being careless. This makes Clucking Bell extremely accessible. New players can jump in without much preparation, while experienced players can easily play through it almost on autopilot. The downside of course is that it can feel repetitive. There's very little room to optimize your strategy beyond moving faster and shooting more accurately. The Knoway Out finale feels far more dynamic by comparison. While it still involves plenty of combat, positioning and decision making matter a lot more. There's no real stealth element here, you're expected to fight and the game gives you plenty of enemies to shoot. This is where Knoway Out really shines. With practice you can shave time off your runs, reduce damage taken and complete the finale much more efficiently than on your first attempt. Let's now take a look at the difficulty, which one is harder. In terms of raw difficulty, No Way Out is clearly the tougher heist, but still fairly easy. Clucking Bell is forgiving, predictable and easy to recover from if something goes wrong. No Way Out demands more awareness, better aim and smarter movement. That doesn't mean Clucking Bell is bad, not at all, it just means it's designed to be accessible, while No Way Out is designed to challenge you a bit more, while still being accessible for beginners. Now let's get to the part everyone really cares about, the payouts. The Clucking Bell farm rate offers a consistent reward. Once completed, you earn exactly $500,000 per run. There's no loot variation, no RNG and no major performance-based modifiers. What you see is what you get. The No Way Out heist pays more. A successful completion can earn you $525,000, depending on how the run goes and how efficiently it's completed. That's because No Way Out has an elite challenge. This will earn you an additional $100,000. To achieve this, you have to complete the heist in under 10 minutes, stay alive, fill no hacks and get 35 headshots. The last requirement is the tricky one, so shoot carefully and make sure you headshot every single enemy in this finale. While No Way Out takes a bit longer, the higher payout often makes up for the extra time, especially for duo players who can complete it efficiently. Both heists also give you a $250,000 first time bonus, so Clucking Bell pays $500,000 every time, while No Way Out pays $660,000 every time if you complete the Elite Challenge. The reason why it's $660k is because the first No Way Out mission pays $34,000, while Clucking Bell setups don't pay anything. Cooldowns also play a role in overall efficiency. Clucking Bells and No Way Out's cooldowns are the same, 1 hour in real time, which allows you to play them pretty frequently. The replay value is where these two heists really separate. Clucking Bell is excellent for short grinding sessions. You can log in, run it once and log out without feeling tired. It's simple, reliable and low stress. However, that same simplicity can lead to burnout if you run it too often, because every run feels nearly identical. No Way Out on the other hand stays interesting longer. The higher difficulty and room for improvement give you something to work towards. Each run feels slightly different and there's more satisfaction in mastering it over time. That's why I highly recommend playing both the Clucking Bell farm rate and No Way Out to keep it fun and fresh. Even better, play No Way Out while Clucking Bell is on cooldown and vice versa. That way you can keep running them back to back and make over $500,000 per hour. So to summarize, who should play which heist? If you mostly play solo, want consistent money, prefer low effort and low stress, like predictable repeatable content, then the Clucking Bell farm rate is probably your best choice. If you like to play with a friend or other players, enjoy somewhat challenging combat, want higher payouts per run, then the No Way Out heist is likely the better option. At the end of the day, there's no single best heist for everyone. Clucking Bell excels at simplicity and efficiency, No Way Out excels at depth and challenge. Most players will end up running both, using Clucking Bell for easy money and No Way Out when you want something more engaging while still getting a great payout. Let me know which heist you think is the better one and why. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more GTA content and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye!